Internet, welcome back to my Europe 2018 Travel Plan With Me video. If you want to get caught up with everything that's happened since, then be sure to check out my first Travel With Me video, which I will link down below. Okay, let's get started with the week. We're starting the week off in Kiel, Germany, which is actually a major town near where Tobias's dad lives. Quite honestly, the time we're spending in Germany is pretty flexible. I'm not really 100% sure what we'll be doing, since it's mostly just family time. I do know that on the Monday we do have a few administrative bits and pieces to look after, so I'm mostly just going to be tagging along. And then on Tuesday we'll be actually driving to another German town called Munster, which is I'd say about 3-4 hours drive away from Kiel. So I suspect that's going to take like half the day. And by the time we get there, we're going to hang out with Tobias's family because Tobias's little brother actually lives in Munster. And so Tobias's dad will be driving with us, so we'll be spending a few days together as a nice big family. Likely going out, eating, chatting. We'll be pretty much spending all of Wednesday with the family, so it's really hard to plan these sort of days because I have absolutely no clue what we're actually going to be doing, except I just know where we're going to be, and I just assume that we will be eating. We'll probably eat a lot of cake. There's the one thing about Tobias's family that I found out over the years is that they are obsessed with cake. Love it. I'm personally not the biggest fan of cake. I will eat it, and some cakes I really love, but I generally haven't eaten a ton of cakes growing up, so I'm just really not used to it. So it's always really interesting to see how his family is completely obsessed, and it's like every afternoon we have to sit around the table and eat cake. It's kind of cute, to be honest. And we also just need to make sure that we check into our flight as well for Friday. So on Thursday, we'll be spending most of the day with the family again, just chilling out. But in the evening, we're actually planning to drive over to Düsseldorf, which is about 2 hours away from Munster. I've done the drive before. It's not too bad, but we're actually planning to do this at night. And the main reason is because our flight out actually is on Friday morning at about like 9 or something like that. And Düsseldorf is the closest major airport to Munster that I can remember. So one alternative was to drive out super early on Friday morning, like get up at 4 and do that 2-hour drive. Or, as I suggested, and also just because Tobias's dad has been gracious enough to drive us everywhere, I don't really want him having to wake up that early to drive us. So I suggested that maybe we could drive in the evening, so it's not too much of a drive. He can drop us off in the evening, and then he can comfortably go back to Munster and rest. And we'll just stay at like the airport hotel or something very basic, just so that we don't have to get up super early the next day to catch our flight. So hopefully that works out, it times well, and I won't have to be anxious about getting to our flight in time just in case there's any issues. But the one thing I really love about staying in an airport hotel is that when the time comes for your flight, you get up, check out, and just stroll right through security. So that takes us to Friday, and we're actually going to be flying out to Nice, France, which I'm so excited because I have never seen the French Riviera before in real life, so I'm super excited to see it. But I really think this trip is all about the stopovers because almost every single flight we're taking requires us to do a stopover. So we'll be flying out of Düsseldorf in the morning, and then we're actually going to fly into Paris. We'll spend a little bit of time there, and then from Paris we're going to fly down to Nice. So we should probably arrive, I think, early afternoon-ish. I feel like this is the part of the trip that really kicks in as holiday mode for us because it will just be me and Tobias, so we can explore and do things that are just more comfortable for the two of us, which I'm really looking forward to. So we'll be staying in an Airbnb just because I find like Airbnbs are so much more comfortable in the sense that you really feel like you're living in that city. But then on top of that, it's so much cheaper. So I really look forward to that. We're going to take a train from the airport to the city centre and we'll be staying around that area. And then after that, I don't really know what we're going to do. I reckon we're just going to explore the city, kind of find our bearings, eat, the usual stuff. Usually before we go to any new cities, I like to create a list of places we can eat or places to visit or general small things to do just to fill out a time. So say if we're doing like a full day of sightseeing and we have like a spare hour or two here, I'll try and get a list together so we can just pick from it. So can you tell I just really love planning vacations? It's just the best. I actually have my entire vacation planned out in a spreadsheet beforehand, and I break them down to 30-minute intervals, which may sound a little over the top, but I mean, it just gives me life. So we're going to be spending the entire Saturday in Nice. I think we mostly just want to check out the actual French Riviera, walk along the beach, that sort of thing. I didn't want to plan anything too concrete until we actually got there just because it's so weather dependent. If it's raining, that's going to change our plans completely. If the weather is amazing, which fingers crossed it is, then it's going to change our plans again. I'm also really keen to restock on some Bioderma if possible because I find that Bioderma in Australia is so expensive. So if I can get it for cheaper in France, I'm going to be so excited. And then we move on to Sunday, which is the last day of the week. We're planning to actually train out to Cannes for the day. I'm really excited to see what Cannes is like. I've only ever seen photos and videos online. And I've also only ever heard of it from the Cannes Film Festival, so I have no idea what to expect, but I obviously think it's going to be amazing. I also am going to pick up a belated Christmas gift, because last year for Christmas, Toby's wanted to buy me a necklace, but I thought we could probably get it cheaper overseas, so I told him to just wait, even though it would be like 6 months delay, and buy it over there instead. So later that afternoon/evening, we're going to train back to Nice. I'm really not the biggest fan of catching public transport at night. I don't know, maybe I'm just super paranoid, but I do not like to be in public transport when the lights are out. So I try to get back to like a familiar grounds as soon as I can. Last step is to put down the sidebar, which is the same as last week. I'll be tracking my step count, making sure I keep in touch with my family every day. And then I'm going to pick up some cute washi tape for the bottom. And that's about it. So that's our trip so far. We've made it all the way from Germany over to France. If you want to follow my journey in real time, then be sure to follow my Instagram either on A Beautiful Fable or Fables in Fashion. I'll be vlogging the entire trip, so you can check out those videos at a later date when I get around to actually editing them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Celina reporting from Nice. Back to you, Internet.